Hi YouTube. So today I'd like to talk a little bit about the multi-tools and knives that I have and for the different purpose that I use them. So I'll walk my way from left to right. So on the left hand side here I have the um, Swiss Army knife Spartan, the Swiss Army knife Tinker, the Climber, and this one is a gift from one of my uncles. I'm not familiar with it. I think it's called how do you pronounce that? Straight. It has a nice leather sheath. I'll talk about it a little bit later on. And this one is Leatherman Blast. And I'm not sure what is the brand of this one, but this is quite a special knife. Again, I'll talk to more about it a little later on. So let's start with the on the left hand side. So as I say, this is the Swiss Army knife Spartan. It is one of the most basic versions of the Swiss Army knife, but I've been rotating between the Spartan, the Tinker, and the Climber, and I found that I went back to the Spartan because of its compactness. As you can see, it's almost the same as the I think it's the same. It's exactly the same as the Tinker, but it has more use because it has this corkscrew. And those of you who are fans of Swiss Army knives, you know that the corkscrew has much more uses than just opening wine bottles. It has here, as you can see, a small screwdriver that is an accessory to the Swiss Army knife. It's an official accessory. This is for your spectacles. So because I wear glasses, I use these to tighten my glasses, and I can just screw it onto the corkscrew like this, and it is kept tucked in. It won't get lost. I won't misplace it, and at the same time I have an extra tool compared to the Tinker, where in the case of the Tinker, of course, you can argue that the Tinker has this Phillips screwdriver over here, but in a pinch, if I really need a Phillips screwdriver, I can always use the tip of the bottle opener here. As you can see, this is also they call it a 2D screwdriver, so it does similar purpose, of course, with a little bit more. You might struggle it a little bit, but in times of emergency, I think that will be good enough. And also, I found that even though this is a full-fledged Phillips screwdriver, using it this manner, right, when you tighten or loosen screws in this manner, it's quite difficult to use, and it's because of the way it is laid out. It's difficult to gain access to narrow areas. So that's why I found myself going back to the Spartan, and I like the Spartan because it has all the basics that I require. Of course, one of the major tool that it doesn't have is the scissors that the Climber has. That's why I bought a Climber. In fact, the Climber, the only difference between the Climber and the Spartan is the scissors. The Spartan doesn't have the scissors, and these scissors, for Swiss Army fanboys, you know that these scissors are the best in market, the best in the industry. I would say that it's even better than the scissors on the Leatherman. But anyway, we'll get to that. So let's just take a look at the tools that are available in the Spartan. But before that, maybe I should just let you know that this Spartan, I did not buy this one. This was actually a gift or a hand-me-down from my dad actually, and I think he got it as a souvenir from WWF, World Wildlife Fund, and you can see that it's really worn. It's full of scratches and discoloration, but I think that makes the knife unique. it makes it it has full of character, and it has been actually used and not as a decoration or a collection. So it is a real tool. So what does this tool have? Again, like I said, it has a corkscrew, and it has the small flathead screwdriver for glasses, to tighten your glasses. It has the O. Okay, I do use this. In fact, I use it to make additional holes on my belt, especially when I'm going sideways. So from time to time, I require this to add on holes to my belt. And you have the classic tweezers, and this actually comes in handy many times for me, especially when I have to deal with very little things, very small things like small screws that have to pick up. I've actually used this, and many people complain about the actual practicality of the toothpick. I was one of those people as well before, but then I found myself using this, especially when I have important meetings to go to, and had to make sure that I'm ready for the meeting and that there's nothing stuck on my teeth. And I've actually used this in a pinch. I've just gone for I've just had my lunch, and I had an important meeting to attend to, and I had something in my teeth, and I went for my Swiss Army knife, and this saved me from embarrassment multiple times. So yes, now I'm a firm believer of having a toothpick as part of my multi-tool, and the tweezers as part of my multi-tool. And the knife comes standard. I mean, most Victorinox or Swiss Army knives come standard with the can opener, and I use this a lot, both at home, in the office, as well as in camping. And of course, I have a flathead screwdriver here with a bottle cap opener, a wire stripper over there. I've not used the wire stripper, I've not used the bottle cap opener, but I use the screwdriver a lot as a screwdriver as well as a pry tool. So it's one of the most useful tool on this multi-tool. And of course, I have my main blade, and I have a secondary smaller blade. And many people will argue that there is no need to have two blades on a single multi-tool. It's a waste of it's a waste. But to me, it's not a waste. Actually, after using a multi-tool for some time now, I found that it is important for me to actually have two blades. Why? Because I reserve the main blade for food prep. In fact, to be honest with you, I'm a coffee lover, and in the office when I make coffee, my coffee comes in sachets, and to open the packaging, I'll use the main blade, and then I will stir my coffee with the main blade. So in fact, my main blade is a stirrer as well, and therefore I like to keep my main blade clean all the time. So for opening packages and for for cutting miscellaneous items, I use the small blade. So my small blade is expected to get dirty, but I try to keep my main blade as clean as possible for food related tasks. For example, as a stirrer for my coffee. So that's why once I've used a multi-tool with two blades, there is no turning back. I nowadays I look for a multi-tool with two blades. I don't think I can live with one blade unless that multi-tool has a spoon in it. I have not seen one. Okay, anyway. So that's the Spartan, and this is the one that goes with me everywhere. So it goes with me to the office. It basically goes with me everywhere. It's my part of my EDC. Okay, then we have the Tinker. So the Tinker, it is exactly the same as a Spartan. This is a gift from my sister-in-law. She went to Switzerland recently, and she got me this. And the only difference between the Spartan and the Tinker is this Phillips screwdriver at the back. Okay, so this one has a Phillips screwdriver at the back, while this one, again, it has a corkscrew at the back, right? So I use this for one of my go bags. I'll put a picture of my go bag in this video. But I use this for uh, one of my go bags, so it has all the necessary tools: a can opener, knives. It has a Phillips screwdriver, of course. So I think it's a useful tool for the go bag. And I got a climber. So my climber, because it has the scissors, I actually bought it as my EDC tool. However, I found that the thickness, you can see, okay, the thickness of the multi-tool is a little bit bulky for my liking. Okay, it was okay at first, but if as I am going sideways, my pants do get tighter, and with that, there is less space for my multi-tool. And yeah, I mean, joking aside, I prefer a smaller multi-tool, and so I went back to the Spartan. So what do I use the climber for now? As I say, the Spartan and the climber is exactly the same. It has exactly the same tool sets, except for the scissors, right? So the Spartan has an extra tool, which is the Swiss Army knives, wonderful scissors, the best in the industry. So I put this in my kitchen box, my cooking box for camping. So I have a cooking container for camping purposes, and so I put this there. So this is mostly used for food prep, for the kitchen use, so I don't need to bring any other blades in my kitchen box. I will just be using one tool for my food prep at camp. So this is meant to be kept clean all the time. So that's my Spartan, my climber, and I love it. I love the black color. In fact, I have been thinking about swapping out the scales, right, to my daily EDC tool of choice, so that with black it looks much more minimalistic. It looks less eye-catching, more subdued. So as an EDC, I think black goes well, but I haven't got to doing that. Not sure if I'm gonna actually do it, but anyhow, yeah, I would prefer black on the EDC tool of mine. And this one, well, it's just gonna reside in my camping bin, my camping kitchen bin anyway, so nobody actually will be looking at it, so it doesn't matter what color it is in. But anyhow, I'll just leave it as it is for now. Then we have this odd one here. This is a shred. Like I said, it is a gift from one of my uncle. It has only one blade and nothing else, so it's not actually a multi-tool. It's just a knife. It's a pocket knife, right? So here it says shred USA, and as you can see, I did something that I shouldn't have. I tried to pry open a can and I broke the tip of the knife. I regretted that, but well, I don't baby my knives and tools. They are for practical uses. So this one, because it doesn't have anything else but a knife, so I use it. I keep this in my first aid kit in my car. The first aid kit comes with a pair of scissors, so I think that it's good to pair it with a simple knife, and therefore this one sits in my first aid kit in my car all the time. And of course, I have my trusty Leatherman. Okay, this one is quite beaten up. I mean, the cover, the sheath is quite beaten up. In fact, this one was chewed on by my dog. So I was so pissed off because this is also a gift from my dad, and it was perfect at one time. And while I was working on something with my tool, so I had the tool out, and my sheath was lying on the ground, and my dog came and played with it or chewed on it, and this is the souvenir that I had. So I thought about replacing it with a new sheath, but then again, everything again, this is a tool. It's not meant for to look pretty, to look nice. It's meant to be used, and this tells a story. This has history to it. Again, every scratch on the scales of these knives, on the sheath of the tool, tells a story, and this is a remembrance of my dog, which has already died a couple of years now. But every time I see this sheath, I remember my dog Jojo. So yeah, so it's quite special now. So I'll not change the sheath anymore. So this is the Leatherman Plus. They don't make it anymore. It's a gift from my dad. He got it while he was traveling to Canada, I believe. And this is a tool that I keep in my motorbike pouch, my motorbike toolkit. So, which is this one. So I keep this pouch in my motorbike, and I have some tools inside. Not now anyway, but usually I have my electric pump inside and other tools of my motorbike here. And what I do is I just use these poly straps and strap my Leatherman toolkit here like that to keep it there, and this will sit inside my saddlebag or my tailbag of my motorbike. So yeah, this is a very useful tool. It has the most function and features out of all my multi-tools and knives here. It has, of course, Leatherman's famous pliers. Oh, sorry, it's dirty here because I just came back from a camping trip, and I use this to pull out the tent pegs from the ground, and I did not clean it yet. So this is the most useful tool. It has a wood and metal file. It has a can opener, and if you see, what's interesting is the can opener on a Swiss Army knife and the can opener on a Leatherman is different. On a Swiss Army knife, you open the can by doing a forward motion like that, but in Leatherman, the system is you will open the can by a backward motion. That means it's gonna come backward. So this one will cut forward, and this one will cut the can in a backward motion. So different take, but same result. Then of course we have Phillips screwdriver. This is a nice one. It's much better than the one from the Swiss Army knife. Okay, because it's in this form factor. I can use it to access tight spots. Okay, because it's long. Unlike this one, the handle will get in the way. And if I need more prying force, I can basically do this, right, and use this part to pry it, right? And if I need it to be to reach a little bit further, I can put this in this form factor, in this configuration, and still do that, right? So it's much, the Phillips tool on this one, on this tool, the Phillips screwdriver on this multi-tool is much more useful than the Phillips screwdriver on the Swiss Army knife on the Tinker. Right, so okay, let's move on. And then we have the scissors. Okay, the scissors are also very different. As you can see, this one, it folds out like that. The scissors on the Leatherman is also very good. Okay, but as you can see, the scissors on the Swiss Army knife is much more substantial, and it is very sharp. And I believe I read or saw some way that scissors on the Swiss Army knife is actually self sharpening. So every time you use it, it sort of sharpens itself. Okay, and on the Leatherman, it's pretty small, right? It folds down differently. On the Leatherman, it folds down. You open up the scissors. Of course, you press the unlock mechanism, right? And it folds down straight like this. Whereas in the Swiss Army knife, basically the whole thing folds in like that as a scissors into itself. Yeah. Let's just put this away. Okay, let's move on. So that's one side of the handle of the Leatherman. The other side, of course, you have your main blade. Okay, again, it's well used. Okay? I don't baby my tools. I actually use them. It has a substantial flathead screwdriver here. Yeah. It has a smaller flathead, a narrow flathead screwdriver. Okay. It used to have a very small screwdriver similar to the spectacle screwdriver, like this, right? So it has something like this sticking up at one time, but I broke it. Again, I don't baby my tools to use them. I just did not get a chance to replace it. I don't think I will either. It's not really that necessary. I have a wood saw here, and as you can see, if you can see, I'm not sure if you can see, I actually use it. It's really sharp, it's really useful. And I have, let me put this all back. And I also have a lanyard, lanyard ring over here. Okay, then, oh yeah, the one that's most obvious, I have a ruler in metric system, and I also have it in inches as well. Okay, so this is a very useful tool. Usually, if I go for bigger trips, I go for camping trips, or again, most of the time it sits in my motorbike tailbag. But if I go camping, I'll be sure to bring this one. If I go for longer road trips, I will also make sure I bring this one in addition to whatever tools that is dedicated to that vehicle or to that activity. And lastly, I have a knife. So as you can see, this is also very well-worn knife, well-used knife. This is a knife that is made in Norway. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I'm not sure about the brand, but this is actually a gift from my father. Again, it's from my father to me. It's a very simple knife, right? So the entire knife, including the handle, just goes into the sheath. It has a very simple layout. It has a wooden handle like this, and a stainless steel knife, again with a tip that is already broken. It was well used, and in fact I think it's time for sharpening because it has broken tips, broken edges on the blade itself. But well, this one also goes into my go bag. So this is this one, and this one, the tinker, is one pair. It goes into my go bag. So I have tools, and I have a more substantial knife in case I need to um, split wood, perhaps. So it's not the best tool for splitting wood, but again, in a pinch, it will do the job. I have all the tools I need. This one, like I say, it sits on in my motorbike tail bag most of the time, but it goes with me when I do longer trips or more specialized purposes. I'll bring it with me. So this one sits in my car, in my SUV, in the um, first aid kit. So it is paired together with a pair of scissors in a first aid kit. This one sits in my camping bin, in my kitchen camping bin. So this one is used solely for food prep. And this one is my everyday day carry knife. So this goes with me everywhere because it has most of the necessary functions, features, and it is the most compact of the lot. So thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to me ramble.